Have you ever seen those special TV shows or movies? You know the ones that are so wonderfully, unintentionally bad, but they bring you so much joy and captivate you, but for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we here at B-Watch Rewatch absolutely live for these underdog gems.
So buckle up, Busters, and please allow us,
Colin?
and Cadence, a sibling duo who share a passion for such cinematic excellence, to take you on a wild ride through all the TV shows and movie plots you never knew you needed to hear.
Hello, everybody. I'm doing that for a reason. I'll get to it.
Oh, I know why.
You know the reason. You know the reason. How's everyone? It's good, huh? Huh? So gross. It was so stupid. I can't believe it. I hate myself for doing that. It's Colin.
And Cadence.
All right, so the movie that we're going to do today, it is called Hell Comes to Frogtown. And honestly, this was made in 1988, and it feels like it was not made in 1988.
Oh, I 100% thought it was like 79, 80.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
For
well,
sure.
It's a OGB movie, and that's why you felt that way. They just don't have the money to make it look like it's modern.
And part of it's like the haircuts. Like it was, his haircut alone was a travesty.
Oh, it was amazing. You know who he kept reminding me of, our main character? We'll get to his name in a moment. He kept reminding me of...
Steve Irwin, Crocodile Hunter.
Yes, Cadence, exactly. May he rest in peace. R.I.P. Steve Irwin. We are with you always. But yes, you totally read my mind. And you also probably read that I couldn't remember his name right off the bat because it was total Steve Irwin. The whole time I'm like,
I knew that's who you thought it was.
His hair, everything. Oh,
I
love
knew
Steve Irwin.
And I wrote that in my notes. I said, Steve Irwin, may he rest in peace.
Steve Irwin, oh, R.I.P. Buddy, loved you.
Because I was like, I love you, Steve Irwin. So it has nothing to do with you. We love you, rest in peace.
Looks
but
like
it looks like him.
I remember where I was the day Steve Irwin, I found out the news. Where I was, what I was doing, and being like, that is the most badass Steve Irwin way to go out of this earthly life.
Crazy thing we call life.
But yes, the main character, his name is Sam. So
wait. His name is Sam what? What's his last name?
Sam Hell. His name is Sam Hell. We'll just get to it, okay? Actually, sometimes, Cadence, you're better at just giving like a quick summary. Well, I said quick. You're good at giving summaries, but let's give a quick one. You guys, side note, if Cadence says long story short, I guarantee you it's going to be 10 times longer than the original story. A long story short is going to be 10 times longer. So give us a Cadence, a not so Cadence short summary of this movie plot.
So this is, like Colin said, a post-apocalyptic world where nuclear weapons and nuclear war has basically rendered a huge part of the population sterile. The war has caused a majority of the men to pass away. Thirdly, it has created a mutant version of humans and frogs that are called greeners. So they're part frog, part human.
Mm-hmm. That makes total sense. And that ties back to why I started this podcast with the weirdest voice ever. Because I was being Frogman.
They have the weirdest voices, yes. I mean, we'll obviously give you some sound clips.
Weird frog people. Okay, cool. So let's just, without further ado, let's jump into it. No pun intended. Let's frog jump into it. Let's leap frog into it. Without further ado, let's leap frog into it.
Keep going.
Right, so the movie starts off 10 years after this apocalyptic nuclear war type situation. And we're introduced to our main character. His name is Sam Hell, which I talked about earlier. And he is raised in hell in this interrogation room where he is being interrogated the shit out of, okay? Mm-hmm. He has had access to guns. GNS, you guys.
They're outlawed in the future.
Oh, yeah. It's post-apocalyptic. Of course they're outlawed.
Not 100% sure how they're still fighting this war without them, but that's not for me to know.
But he is being tossed around, interrogated, and you learn in this scene that Sam Hell got the captain's daughter pregnant. We don't really know who the captain is at this point, but we're just assuming that he is some big, high-up ranking captain.
Mad.
Okay, and he's pissed that his daughter's pregnant. Well, as he's being interrogated, these two sassy nurses walk in. And they're like, stop interrogating this dude. We got to take him. Captain's orders. And they're like, captain's? And he's like, yeah, the daughter that he impregnated, she kind of had a change of heart. And now we got to talk to him. So Sam gets out. And that's where we learn what's going to happen next. Right now.
I also feel like we should say, because this will come back later, I'm just going to plant this seed. The captain is PO'd, you guys, because too many women call too many shots. Because there's so many women now, more than women than men, that they're in all of the leadership positions. And he's like, I hate this new world where women are in charge. You don't deserve to be in charge of anything.
There's a point if you ask me. There's a freaking point if you ask me. But at this point, you've never met the captain.
But I'm just saying, planting the seeds, because he'll inevitably come back later. So he wakes up in this facility, or he's taken to a facility by these two sexy nurses. And when he's looking around, there's signs like no condoms, repopulate the earth. There's Bible verses.
Casual hospital setting. Casual hospital setting. I would like to also say that he wakes up in this full bizarre, like chastity belt type of situation strapped to a chair. So you automatically know that there's something going on.
I was definitely headed in that direction because already your brain's like, no condoms, repopulate the earth. What are we even talking about right now? So it turns out that Mr. Sam Hell has been populating his own earths, if you know what I mean.
Father Sam Hell has been impregnating all the fertile women, and he's left a string of pregnant women behind his wake.
So this is the deal they're going to strike with him, okay? They work for the largest, most influential, like medical / governmental soldier company. What's that called? Like an army or something? Defense?
Sure. A medical army of national levels.
Called MedTech.
Of course, there's always medicals and techs going on.
Right. So everything they do is like half army mission, half medical mission. So they're like,
Mr. Hellman, I can understand why you're so popular with the ladies. You've left a string of pregnancies everywhere you've been.
Is that a fact?
You have the highest spermatozoan count we've ever tested.
Must have been all that fiber I ate when I was a kid.
I'm authorized to offer you a clean slate. All charges dropped. Now, MedTech's main assignment is to locate and impregnate fertile women in the wastelands. Now, we need potent young men in the fields to assist in this great work. Men who can take care of themselves, who know the territory, who can perform under difficult conditions. Do you feel up to it?
Let me think about that. Yeah, you know what? I might just have to sleep on this for a minute. That's what Sam's thinking. Come on, you guys. That's a win-win in all situations. But I will say, now this army of medical people, this army, medical army tech. Now, are you saying an army against, because it's post-apocalyptic, it's been 10 years since the world blew up. I'm guessing it's an army against frog people.
Yeah, it very much implies that. It implies that essentially they are both racing. Well, it does not imply this. It very... what's the word? Blatantly says they're both in a race to repopulate. And so whoever can repopulate the fastest can win the war, right? Because you have a bigger army, which at this point, like if humankind is like forcing me to repopulate just so we can have an army and keep fighting, like, no thanks. I'm just going to bow out.
And I'm also going to say, I don't know much about amphibians, but I've watched David Attenborough before. I've watched Planet Earth. Frogs lay a shit ton of eggs. And they get inseminated real quick. Trust me, frog people, I'm just going to guess, are going to beat us when it comes to repopulating. It's like one baby that takes 9 months or 17,000 babies that take 3 days. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. They're already winning. But again, we don't know much about the frog people at this point.
I'm like, you know what? At this point, we deserve to go extinct. I'm fine. Let them take over. Yeah. It's their time to shine. It's their time to shine.
We talked about this in like Alone in the Dark and stuff. Like, I don't. Right. Oh, we talked about it in Moonfall too.
Right.
What would be the point of living in a completely destroyed world? I don't have this like evolutionary, like, gotta keep my line going. At this point, I don't want any of my children. I don't want any of my seed to see any of this post-apocalyptic world. I just don't. No. So like, what's the point? Am I not human? Do I not understand the human ways?
No, I'm the same way. I don't see the point. I don't have that like, oh, I gotta keep it moving. But this
We're
also
also
brings
those.
up.
We're also those two people that would just give up. If we were on the Oregon
go to
Trail,
bed.
we would have just given up in day one. We're like, you know what? We're gonna sit here and die. You know what?
We would have been like, can we take a quick nap and sleep for 8 hours? And everyone just is like, fine, we're leaving.
I don't know what's ahead. It's a brave new world. I mean, we're in the 1800s, but I'm going to go ahead and just stay here. I'm just going to I'm going to take my chances and stay here.
I feel like maybe this is going to be just as good a place as the next. So I'm good. Go ahead.
At this point, I don't want 10 more months of misery. Okay. Yeah, so I think
But
frogs
wait,
have a
this
speed.
also raises an important point that I have not thought about until this moment. But if this 10 years post-war, how are there fully grown frogmen? How are there fully grown frog people?
We just talked about them laying a bunch of shitload of eggs, okay? They also grow really fast, but they might only have a lifespan of like a couple weeks. There's a lot we don't know about frog dynamics.
That's true.
Dynamics, frog biology. There's a lot we don't know.
And we don't learn it.
It's not being answered right now, but we just know that there's some kind of speed race for a bigger army going on. And now Sam Hell is being recruited by these hot nurses to just literally go
medtech.
and impregnate fertile women. So you might have heard me say that he wakes up with a chastity belt. And you're probably thinking to yourself, if this government agency is trying to get him to impregnate all the fertile women, what the hell does a chastity belt have to do with that? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, they've thought of it because they're women.
Well, Cadence, go ahead and tell him the terms, the T's and C's behind this chastity belt, okay?
The T's and C's?
Oh, I've been hearing that you haven't heard that?
Oh, something I haven't heard.
No, I'm
What
surprised
is
you
this?
haven't heard it because I hear it only on advertisements when I'm listening to podcasts. They'll be like, you have to do this, T's and C's to follow. And it's like terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions.
And they just say T's and C's. And I was like, at first I was like, what the fuck are T's and C's? But then
my brain went to the dirtiest thing T's and C's could have stood
titties
for.
and cock? Titties and cocks?
Which is why
You've got those frog titties and frog cockies on your mind. You're just getting this movie real riled you up.
well, if you know how many penises one frog has, which you find out later.
Don't
you
give
know
anything
why.
away. Stop. Tell them the T's and C's of this chastity belt.
It has a flap, you guys. So that's how he's going to impregnate all these women. The flap opens up. However, here's the thing. It's made out of metal and wires. So it's not like, don't imagine a chastity belt like made of leather with like a old school lock on it. It's like a metal diaper, and then it has an explosive built into it. So if he tries to run away and he gets a certain distance, it will blow his junk off. And if he tries to do like certain things, it'll tighten and like just squeeze his nutsack to all hell.
So they've got him real. They've got him real. I don't know what I was going to say.
Real what?
I was going to say like cock held or something, but that's like a real thing. So I don't know. They've got him in a real. They've got him in a real tight squeeze. I don't know. You get it. Tight predicament. What's a pun we can make about a chastity belt?
I mean, tight squeeze was a pretty good one, but cock-held had me so distracted.
They got him in a real cock-held. Okay, so he's got this chastity belt that will blow up if he tries to run away. He is being forced to go and impregnate fertile women. Guess where a huge majority of beautiful fertile women are? Take a guess if you had to be like, okay, where do I start my mission? Got my chastity belt on that's going to explode, but it has a little flap. Where do I start? Point me in the direction. Where do you think those women are going to be?
Well, I have some news for you. Sam Hell is going to Frogtown because that's the name of the movie.
And I'm going to give you a little hint where Frogtown is. It's in a real shitty place and it's run by frog people, and they have kidnapped all the fertile women.
Right. So not Captain Toady, Commander Toady has all of like this harem of fertile women.
How did those frogs get the fertile women? Lots of questions how these frogs got the feral women. I keep saying feral. Fertile.
You do?
There's just a bunch of like feral cats running around screaming like, how do you get these? So Commander Toady, he is, we haven't met him at this point, but we learned that Commander Toady is the one that has these women. We don't know how frog people got these women, but they do. And we don't know if it's all the women, all the fertile women in the world. Or
5 of them.
But it's a good handful. And so they're like, we got plan A, the sperm bank. We got plan B, those fertile eggs. Now we got to get plan A and B together. But there's one thing talking to Frogtown. I don't know where I was going with that. I really don't know where I was going with that.
It
Just
feels like
trust me.
with all these medical innovations, couldn't you just take sperm samples and impregnate them in a lab or something? Why does he have to sexually
Cadence.
perform through his flap?
Cadence. It all got blown up in the nuclear war, okay? There are no more test tubes. No more test
Oh, I
tubes, no
see.
more turkey basters. There's no way to get that sperm to that egg. Except for the
I was
old
a fool
school.
for asking. All right, so Sam Hell is resistant to the mission, but he really
is.
doesn't have a choice.
He's so resistant, you guys. They literally are like, for the sake of humanity, not only is it not we're asking you to do this bizarre thing, but like to save humanity and create an army to fight against frog people, you have to go impregnate fertile, beautiful women. And he's just like, nope, this is against my moral code, busters. And it's like, Sam, why are you opposed to this? What is going?
This is what you've been doing already,
What are
bud.
your pros and cons? Yeah, you've already been doing it. Now you get to do it free. Like, okay, anyway, it's a little
Were you
confusing.
going to say Free Willy?
free? I was gonna say I think you get to do it willy nilly, or like maybe I was thinking whatever. You get the
Well,
point.
he
gets
doesn't get to
whatever
do
the
it
hell
Free
he wants.
Willy or willy nilly because he's locked up.
That's
You don't
very
have-
true. That
has a
that
flap.
exploding chastity flap belt is really it's cramping his style, and that's why he doesn't want to do it. He's like, what am I going to say to these women? Like, when I have this belt on, like this is going to ruin my whole game.
I don't think the women at all care. Because as we see, they are sex crazed to say the least. He is on this mission with Sexy Nurse, Sexy Blonde Nurse. Not only is she a medical service provider of some kind,
Mhm.
she's also a captain, high ranking officer in the army. So she is double dutying this mission.
Yeah, well, there's not so many people on Earth left, and
That's true.
everyone's got to wear many hats.
And she's like, I'm a woman. I multitask
frog hat.
anyway.
You are a frog hat. You die. We would like to say that Sexy Nurse, Cadence and I both, we for days tried to figure out her name. She doesn't have one.
I used closed captioning and somehow still missed
But
it.
she is one of the original two nurses that came and saved Sam Hell from his interrogation. So she's kind of been with him through this journey, explained the mission. Now she's going with him on this mission.
Right. She's definitely also one of those people that they put in movies that's like really beautiful and sexy. But if you throw a big pair of glasses on them and put their hair up, they're just like detestable until those things are gone. So you kind of see where it's going immediately.
And if we didn't make it perfectly clear, Sam doesn't only have to impregnate these fertile women that are being captured in Frogtown. They have to go save these women too. So before he can get to the good stuff, before he can get to the meat and potatoes, gotta crack a few eggs.
Yeah, they're liberating all of these women. That's part of the mission too, because they got to bring them back. They got to have babies. What are you going to do?
Well, Cadence, my question is, okay, how the hell is this going to work? What's their plan? What's their plan to get into Frogtown? Because Frogtown, as we know, frogs are very territorial. And I'm guessing that Frogtown is heavily armed. That's what I'm guessing.
It is, but you know what? When we get to Frogtown, we will cross that bridge because they have a plan.
Okay, I trust you.
Okay. We have Sexy
This
Nurse,
ragtag crew.
Sam Hell, and we have a gunner on top, Mad Max style. Definitely like Furiosa vibes.
Oh, yeah. This whole movie, definitely picture Mad Max mixed with like
Frogs?
Thundertoads or something. I don't know, frogs.
Thundertoads.
Thundertoads or whatever, you know. Mad Max mixed with frogs.
Yeah, so they're on their journey, and if you think that Sam Hell isn't going to try to escape at least once, you're mistaken, because he's raising hell, if you know what I mean.
He's testing the waters, and he's like, I bet these two women don't know jack shit about explosive chastity belts. He's like, I think they're all bluffing. He runs away.
That alarm goes off and puts his newts in a vice, if you know what I'm saying.
And he's like, hell, this hurts my newts. Because my name's Sam Hill. So at that point,
Anyway, he learns his lesson real quick. Don't try to escape.
He's like, all right, I have to go through with this mission and save these fertile women. I guess I have to have sex with them, even though it's against my moral compass for some reason.
Yeah, and we're going to do something about it. We're going to get them out, and then you're going to get them pregnant.
So they set up camp, and listen, if you think that Sexy Nurse sets up camp without a sweet lingerie ensemble, you'd be mistaken. Because she's always got, not any lingerie, white lingerie. White, lacy
because the world is primarily run by women, and we all know women love to dress in really comfortable lingerie for other women. Everyone, that's what you do.
And
of course, that's all she has.
Intense in the
that's
desert.
All she has.
Why on earth is she doing this, you ask? Because she comes out to seduce Sam Hell. And you're like, I thought this romance was going to be a little more push and pull, a little more give and take, a
She's
little
just
more
really
tease.
But Sexy Nurse is like, gonna do it right here.
So she gets him going. They start making out. And then he's like, open my flap.
Oh, open my flap. The hottest words to be moaned during sex. Open my flap. Sick.
So gross. And she hops up after getting him all hot and bothered. And she was like, no. This is part of my mission. This is what I've trained for. I'm supposed to keep you in a state of arousal. It keeps you more fertile for all those women you got to impregnate. He's like, oh my God, just blow off my penis right fucking now, please.
She's a captain in this mysterious army. She's a medical nurse. Now she's someone who's in charge of keeping men aroused for their fertility rates to go up. She is wearing a lot of hats.
So many hats.
Good for you, girl. You should be an employee of the year. Okay. So they've camped. We're learning a little bit about Sexy Nurse's her entire job role. She's like, not only do I set up tents and lingerie, I keep men real horny and fertile. Not frogs, though. Don't you dare think I keep a frog horny. I make sure that all the HR work is done. I am a president of the social club. Like, long list. So,
right.
I guess my question is, why?
That could be the only question to ask about this whole thing.
It's
Why?
so bizarre. It's so bizarre. And I would like to say that up until this point, Sam Hell has no idea what the plan to get into Frogtown is or what the plan is when they get into Frogtown to save these fertile women. Sexy Nurse is just like, trust me. Not only do I keep fertile men horny, I also have a foolproof plan that I thought up in my spare time, which is like, how does this woman do it? You know?
How does she do it? No one knows. That angry captain at the beginning definitely doesn't know. He's like, all these small brain women running this operation. No idea what's going on.
All right. So after they've set up camp, at this point, you're like, all right, it's a one-stop shop. They're going to Frogtown. They're going to do this. Nope. There's a little side quest, a little tiny side quest. And that side quest is to show up in a van, an unmarked van, and capture women who are running around in the desert. And these women aren't just any women. They're some of the fertile women that have escaped from Frogtown. And they literally snatch them up in a van and take them back to base. That's terrifying in its own. I think there could be a better approach to this. I think they could say like, hey, excuse me, we know that you're running away from Frogtown. We're here to help you.
We're so sorry.
Nope, they get them. They snatch them right up, throw them in a
There's no time.
windowless
You got to
van.
get that baby in there.
Yep. So now they're back at the camp, and again, they're explaining to this girl that they just captured in the desert as a side quest, like, hey, this guy over here, his flap, that thing, when that thing comes down, a baby will be in your body, okay? Trust us. He is just the stud of studs. And she's like, okay, bring it on. Take off now flap.
Here's the thing.
Take off that flap. Take off that
Not
flap.
sure what you think happens with the flap. Take it down, tear it off.
I know. You
Doesn't
always
matter,
catch when I
just-
go into full stroke. Take down that flap, girl. She's like, get it. He's doing a sexy, stripper dance, and it's just, like, slowly removing his flap. Just like, oh, hey. You like this?
The word flap is just the worst word. It's just truly the worst word.
It is. Flap is the worst.
So
gross.
he doesn't want to have sex with this woman because he just met her. He doesn't feel like he can
It's
be
against his
attracted to
moral
her
code,
this quick.
Cadence. Jesus. This guy does not have time. He's an emotional guy. He needs to have that connection.
So true. So true. So don't you worry though. Sexy Nurse is here to save the day.
She has a plan always.
She knows how to get him in the mood. She knows how to get that flap lowered. She tells him,
Relax. I've been trained in seduction techniques.
Oh, girl, you have been. We knew that from the very beginning. So just to be clear, Sam Hell is now watching Sexy Nurse do a very seductive dance where she's not at all awkward and twitchy.
she's like just kind of touching her arms, touching her
She's very bolero. She's
collarbone.
very Bo Derek and bolero. Like
This was
a
bolero.
little bit manic and like twitchy, but also like trying to be sensual, but touching all the wrong parts.
Right.
She's like open eye rubbing her eye. It's just like really weird.
But it works.
Right? But it works because Sam's like, you know what? This flaps down.
He impregnates the
And
girl.
The girl is so happy. She literally is like,
Mothers are national heroes. You'll be treated like a queen.
Thank you.
she's like literally so happy that Sam put a baby in her.
Right. The next morning, once she's like cleaned up and she's showered, she makes it very clear.
Oh my God.
They couldn't do
I thought
that
you meant
before.
cleaned up from having sex.
They
I was like,
couldn't
Jesus,
do
it
that.
didn't get that crazy.
No, because when they capture her,
It's
she's
just
like
the
covered in
raunchiest,
dirt,
dirty
remember?
sex. Yes. they
She's
did.
like wrapped up in a sheet and stuff. So
Well,
they
obviously,
could have
that's why
showered her
Sam
before
couldn't have sex with her.
that.
She's all dirty and stinky. Come on, I'm not into this.
And they do have somehow the capability to clean her up. So why did they not do that before? Don't know.
They
Guess you
just
don't
kept
have
her
time.
real ripe and dirty until the morning. Also, I love how it's like they just know. I mean, I guess maybe you know. I'm not a female. I don't know about the female body, but maybe you just know when you're pregnant because it's like they literally had sex one night and it's like, I'm so happy you're going to have this baby. Like, it's just like, aren't there other steps? Like, you got to kind of give it a little bit of time to make sure you maybe got pregnant.
I don't know. Maybe it's like based on medtech scientific studies. I have no idea.
MedTech knows.
They got to figure it out.
Sexy nurse,
Also,
of course, has a contraption.
I wouldn't say they were necessarily driving an unmarked van through the desert. It is a giant pink PT Cruiser.
Cadence, at night, everything looks gray, okay? Everything looks gray. At night, you're a woman who just left a frog community that captured you, has held you captive for God knows what. You finally escaped and you're being chased down in the desert by this giant windowless van that turns out to be pink during the day, and they literally snatch you up. I'm like, that is the scariest shit ever. It is. I want to get to this girl's backstory. What? Let's talk about her.
Well, we kind of learn where she comes from because we get into Frogtown. But just to wrap that up, yes, she says, thank you so much. I super appreciate you putting a baby in me. She gets put with a tracking device and they say, don't you worry, someone will pick you up in no time. Just sit on this rock.
Oh, baby girl.
And they will find you.
That is not what a mom-to-be needs. Like, okay, I would be super sketched out by this whole situation. I'd be like, something doesn't feel right about this. These people snatched me up in the desert. They took me back. They convinced me to get pregnant, and now they're leaving me on a rock. Like, something...
They put this watch on me.
Doesn't add up. It sounds like a Tuesday.
She's like, is this how you treat your royalty? I'm so sorry. This is what you mean by
She
royalty?
gets full royalty. She's like, oh, I'm a national treasure now. You don't have something different I could sit on? She's just full diva.
It's amazing. So anyway, this is where the plan starts unfolding. Don't worry, though. We still aren't 100% sure what it is.
No one knows. At this point, I don't even know what the fuck this movie is.
It does involve Sexy Nurse being in bondage ropes and garter belts.
Yes. Well, the plan is essentially, now we kind of do know. Sam Hell has decided, along with Sexy Nurse, that this frogman who's keeping all these fertile women, Commander Toad, he obviously is really loving beautiful, fertile women. So why don't I, Sam, pretend that I'm selling you as a sex slave to the Frog Kingdom? And she's good idea. Dress me up in bondage gear and sell me to that Commander Toad. So that's how they're going to get into Frogtown.
First of all, if you think for one hot second that Sam Hell came up with that plan, when you've got a med tech medical provider, half nurse, half army doing this, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
It's actually the woman they left on the rock. She's like, well, I think it would be a good idea to sell him to sex slavery. They're like, shut up, bitch, stay on that rock. And then they just make it seem like it's their own plan. I said in cahoots with Sexy Nurse.
Okay. It feels like you were trying to give Sam all the credit when you know darn well.
Okay, let me back up.
It's the woman trained in the art of seduction.
I do not give Sam any credit. Up until this point, this man has been nothing but a blabbering. Like, he's just been he doesn't have any qualities of like anything other than just like a blubbering man that's sad to do things that he's asked to do.
And no sex appeal. Can I just emphasize that?
He's not. That Steve Irwin doesn't have sex appeal? We said he looked like Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin as Steve Irwin. Yes. Steve Irwin as this like sexed up lover guy? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't fit his personality. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Steve Irwin, it was the whole package. It wasn't just like, I'm looking at him. Even though those short shorts and those ankle warmer boots.
He had a flap in those shorts, if you know what I mean.
So Steve Irwin totally had a flap in those shorts. So Sam Hill did not think of this plan. It was Sexy Nurse. Sell me as a sex slave to Commander Toad. That's how we're going to get in. And guess what? It works. They get into Frogtown.
Also, Sam does that thing that classically men do in movies because he wants to make her hotter because only men know what's truly hot to other men / frogs. So he takes off her glasses, tosses them in the desert. Excuse me, sir, I need those to see. Then he takes her hair out of the ponytail, fluffs it up, and is like, there, at least now you're going to be cute for them. Come on.
Cute. She's
Come
like,
on.
bitch, I wear white lingerie setting at tents. I know
I'm
what
wearing
hot
ropes
is.
right now.
She's like, actually, I'm wearing ropes and pieces of leather. She's like, yeah, I was going to do that. I was going to take off my glasses and put my hair on. I know what's sexy. Okay, so they get to Frogtown, and this is where the real magic happens. All right, guys, so sexy nurse, Sam Hell. This little plan they had worked because they get right into Frogtown. They're like, sex slave, right front of the line. Go see Commander Toad. And Frogtown, oh boy. Frogtown seems like a wild place. I would love to spend a weekend in Frogtown.
Anytime you're walking up some metal stairs, like scaffolding, and there's a glowing neon martini sign flashing, you know you're in for a good time.
You're like, am I in Frogtown?
You're in for a good time.
Am I in Frogtown? Am I in San Francisco or Frogtown? Is this Dublin or Frogtown? So
It's amazing.
Frogtown is kind of this like Vegas. It's like Cadence said, lots of barrel-sized trash cans everywhere. You know what I'm talking about. You know
It's
what I'm talking about.
industrial. It's
Industrial. It's pure industrial.
Scaffolding. Oh, it's like the oil rig on Armageddon.
Oh, yeah. But
Totally
mixed
like
with
that.
a lot of like rave supplies. So there's lots of like different colored lights flashing, lots of neon lights. It's very, again, this is very Mad Max. But
Yeah.
what was that other movie that Mel Gibson was in where he like, is it Mad Max though? Was Mel
Mad
Gibson
Max
in
is
it?
Mel Gibson in the original, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a scene where he's like in like Junktown and he's like fighting someone in a cage or like a dome. That's all I remember. But
Yeah,
it's very
Thunderdome. You're
much-
thinking of the original one, yeah.
there are all these very, very sexy stripper frogs just dancing around. Oh,
I mean,
and my favorite part, just to give you a
I
visual,
mean-
I mean, if you weren't slimy now, wait till you see my favorite thing.
oh
though.
no.
So sick.
You said
Oh, sick.
slimy.
So sick. What was I going to say? Like, if you weren't wet now. So sick.
Slimy though.
I know that's what I was trying. I mean,
Slimy.
it's 10 times worse. But my favorite part, just to give you a visual, and we don't usually do this because obviously we're telling a story and you don't need to see the visuals. Imagine the most sexy lady. The camera is all the way at her baby toes and they go all the way up and it is full woman, okay? And
She's
you're like,
wearing
"Look."
knit leggings and a Victorian bustle. Just keep
Hey,
that in
style
mind.
in Frogtown is wild. I told you. So she is, and then it zooms up to her face, and it's a full frog lady. All frog ladies, you guys. And you're like, I was fooled as a viewer. I thought that was going to be a sexy human woman.
Nope.
See?
Nope.
Nope. It's
Also,
frog people.
if you think that frog women don't wear makeup, you're mistaken. Because she does, and
They
it's flawless.
have MAC in Frogtown, and all the frog
waterproof.
women. All the frog women are like, hey girl, where do you get your makeup? And they go to Frog Mac down the road. And every woman gets their makeup at Frog Mac. And it is amazing because it is full.
Or wait. Did they go to Altoad?
Sephora.
I was trying to think of
Sephora.
a Sephora one,
I
but
was
it
trying
didn't
to
work
think
as
it.
well.
Yeah, they do. They wear a lot. So anyway, you just get the overall idea that Frogtown is just a nuts place. I kind of want to visit. I know Cadence wants to visit. I
They
think
had
I might.
like a Frogtown theme park? Oh, I'm there. I am
Oh.
there.
Oh my gosh. Or like maybe my next birthday is Frogtown theme.
Totally.
Did I
Theme
tell you-
Thanksgiving, Frogtown. All right, so we have fully entered the fever dream. That is Frogtown. And the beautiful, seductive half frog woman that's dancing makes her way off the stage and, quote, bumps into Sexy Nurse and Sam Hell and says, I love you, and then runs away. And Sam Hell's like, I'm so confused about this, but don't worry. This is part of the
I
plan that
think we all
Sexy
are.
Nurse.
I think
I mean,
at this point we are all very, very confused.
if you think it got weird just then, it gets much weirder between her and Sam Hill later. But what our friend Sexy Nurse has not disclosed to Sam Hill is that this, and what's her name? I call her Sexy Frog, but you said her name is something real.
Frego Bella.
Frago Bella. Frago
That's
Bella.
the sexy frog. If you couldn't tell,
Frogo,
They-
beautiful.
I know
Beautiful
they had to
frog.
change the word frog around a little bit, and then you add Bella, which is beautiful. So it's just Frego
Mhm.
Bella. It makes total sense.
So what she hasn't told Sam Hell is that Fregobella is actually part of the plan. She's an ally, and the words "I love you" are the code that the plan is ready to go into action, and she's going to show them exactly where they need to go.
Who thought of this code word? I think there's a much more complicated phrase you could say than "I love you." It just seems like that could get real messy real quick. You never know. I mean, people say it all the time.
So they put the plan in action, and immediately, because they're good to go, Sam Hill starts taking the bids for Sexy Nurse Lady, and immediately she gets bought. And not by anybody, my friend, but by Commander Toady to add to his harem.
Yeah, it's true. Sam's just like, all right, he's like a little too anxious to sell her off, Sexy Nurse.
He really
now that he
is.
knows the plan, I would like to say that while this is happening and while Sexy Nurse is being sold into sex slavery and being bought by Commander Toad, Sam, well,
Toady.
I guess I'm giving Sam way too much credit. He still, again, has done nothing this whole time.
This is not his
Sexy
plan.
Nurse sees a group of hoodlums that are all decked out. They have little gas masks on and hoods. You don't know if they're frog or if they're human or if they're spider or whatever. And we notice that they are selling all kinds of shady shit to the Frogtown people. Guns, which, like we said earlier, very illegal. But I was saying, so does Frogtown have its own, I mean, obviously it has its, own government and laws. So,
I think it's like a dictatorship.
Some,
I mean, Commander Toady is just the only dude in charge. That's it.
Could you be like, man, I can't drink until I'm 23 in regular world, but in Toad world, Frogtown, I can drink when I'm 16. And then you go, they must have their own, political system and laws and everything like that.
It's pure chaos, whatever it is.
Because I'm saying, if guns were illegal in this regular world, what if Frogtown, they're like, nah, guns, you can get them anywhere. We're like America. You can just buy one at the corner store. It's cool.
I mean, essentially, that is what it's like because they get guns trafficked to them and then it's just, they're everywhere. There's no, you don't have to get a permit. Once they're in Frogtown, you're good.
It sounds to me like Frogtown is well on the way to take over humans. They're getting a shit ton of guns. They can have babies way quicker, fertilize thousands of eggs with just a little bit of sperm. And I'm sorry, but Fregobella.
And they can live in water or on land. They're amphibians.
Yeah, that's another damn advantage. They can hop really far. They're slimy, so they can slip out of any situation. I'm thinking Frogtown.
Not slimy in the way you said earlier, but in its own way.
So regardless, that Sexy Nurse and Sam, they see someone, distributing guns, illegal guns, and they're like,
So they know it's a lot more messy.
I wonder,
than they
Frogtown's
thought.
a little more dangerous than I thought. Sexy Nurse obviously got sold to Commander Toady, and she gets brought into a harem. A harem of beautiful women. Turns out that this harem, they are the fertile women that Frogtown has captured. Okay?
Right. These are all Commander Toady's women. And listen, they're going to do a real solid, real solid for Sexy Nurse. They lay her down on a round bed.
Always round.
They each have a very, very colorful piece of chiffon.
Pure
And
rainbow
they're
chiffon.
just slowly running the chiffon over her body and just sort of moaning and sort of chanting. And you think
It's vaguely, it's like some kind of weird seance or something, but it's all very generic.
Oh my God, you know what it reminds me of is Wicker Man. When the queen of the whole island is laying in her bed and those women are inexplicably surrounding it and you never see what happens. Maybe they were doing that, getting her real turned on.
Honey, only bees get turned on.
So she's laying there and you think at first that maybe she's being drugged or something because she gets really spacey and she's like, I have a plan. I'm going to get you out of here. And then you realize, no, she's just so aroused by the chiffon. And so she's getting so sweaty. I just want to add that. Just
that's part of
drenched
arousal.
in sweat.
Whenever chiffon, rainbow chiffon gets gently draped over me, you hold on to your fucking hats.
I'm going to introduce chiffon into my sex life because if it's that pleasurable, then I have been missing something.
It's an aphrodisiac for sure. I've heard.
So she's telling them, don't worry, I have a plan, but what are you doing to me, by the way? And they're like,
remember this potion. Keep the fires high, and you may survive the dance of the three snakes.
Oh, jeez. I do not want to know what the dance of the three snakes is. I do not want to know.
So immediately, she gets taken in to Commander Toady, who says,
Dance for me!
The only dance I'm gonna do is the dance on your grave.
Dance or die!
Modern or ballet?
The dance of the three snakes.
Dance of the three snakes.
If you thought her art of seduction, the training that she has had, was kicking in before,
No. She has years of contemporary ballet, hip hop dancing skills, and she puts them to use in the dance of the three snakes. It's so beautiful and jerky and weird and a little bit of cracked chicken. Love it.
and then the commander also loves it. He starts making the weirdest froggy grunting noises. He's like,
That's what frogs do. That's what frogs do.
and then you guys, through his frog pants, 3 penis heads. You can see them through the fabric. You can't, it's too graphic to actually lay eyeballs on them. But 3 penis heads start moving around and dancing in his frog pants crotch.
Okay,
His
so
flap is quite
his
open.
flap is, there's 3 flaps apparently that they need to be
All
open, okay?
flaps are open.
I just have a couple, like, do all frog people have 3 penises? Is it just a Commander
Is
Toady
it part of the
thing?
mutant
Was
thing?
this
Yeah.
was this a surgery that he got? Or, and also you're an amphibian, and why would you have 3 dick snakes? Like, wouldn't they be little, like, amphibian snakes? You know, I'm just, lots of questions. And do each of these snakes, they're dancing, obviously. Now, do they also get aroused and just stop dancing and, like, that they do their job?
Like,
And
are
I'm
they
just-
sentient on their own without him being
Exactly.
involved?
Like, do they have their own minds?
They just wake up without his knowledge.
And they're like, we need a beautiful, twitchy woman in front of us right now to get us going. So I just have a lot of questions about the frog people anatomy.
I do too, because it feels like a lot of mixed messages. Like, is it a reptile? Is it an amphibian? Is it a penis? Is it a reproductive organ known to frogs? I'm not sure about frogs'
Yeah.
reproductive organs. I don't know. But I guess it's meant to symbolize that he has an insatiable sex drive.
Mm-hmm.
And he can probably, well, I was going to say he can impregnate a lot of women at once, but you can't logistically get 3 penises and 3
Again,
different
lots
women at
of
the
different-
same time.
Like, is he feeling sensation from each one or all together? Do they each take turns? Like, there's a lot of logistical things.
No,
I
you
wonder.
go. They're just talking
Again.
to each other. No, go ahead.
And is it the Commander Toady that has an insatiable sex appetite or his 3 snake penises? You just don't know. There's
true.
just so
yeah,
many
you don't know who's
questions.
calling the shots there.
He's like,
But-
I misunderstood you guys. I have to do this for these guys, okay? I love a romantic night in. I want to get to know
Love
you,
it.
but my little snake penises, 3 of them, they get real horny.
They have a completely different kink. Do not sweat it. Just dance, okay? Just dance. She tries, I should say, to be tough in the beginning. She's like, the only dance I'm going to be doing is on your grave. And he's like, oh, but what about these guns? And she's like, you're right. Good point. I will absolutely perform this dance for you.
Ballet, contemporary, hip hop, what would you like? I can do it all.
I can. So anyway, she seduces him. The snakes are very lively. And in this moment, she punches him in all 3 penises so she can make her escape.
Fuck yeah, that now sexy nurse is showing up. Meanwhile, where's Sam Hell? Where in Sam Hale is Sam Hell? Guess where he is at? He is sitting there with Fregobella. We talked about the sexy in frog from earlier. And she has heard rumors about his flap. And she is dying to get that flap on her little slimy skin. And she literally tries to take advantage of Sam Hell. Like it's a giant frog woman taking over him. And he's like, no. And she's like, let me see what you got.
Oh, she's so stoked. And she also says, let me promise one thing. Don't be gentle with me. He throws her across the room to get her off. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Fregobella, you kinky little frog bitch. You little minx. Kinky little frog minx.
He says, you know what, now's not the greatest time. Can we just stick with the plan and we can talk about, like, you saved my life. I do owe you one, just not at this moment. Unfortunately.
I will fuck you later, just not right now. Dies at the right time. And again, Sam, you guys, he's done nothing heroic. He has not behaved heroically. He has not done anything to redeem his character. He's just literally like a blubbering man the whole time. And you keep thinking, like, Sam's going to show up. Sam's going to get him out. Sam's going to hijack the guns and nope, the whole time, nothing. Not
Nope.
at all. He just is literally blubbering and Sexy Nurse has to do all the work.
I guess he's like, what do you expect? Like, I don't have any high up jobs. The women took them all. I don't have to do any critical
I
thinking.
don't have any formal training. What are you doing? So, long story short, in Colin's words, not Cadence's words, they escape. That's the bottom line. But what happens when they escape? Something really dramatic happens.
Well, in the process of the escape, Fragobella passes away.
Oh my
She
God.
meets her maker because one of the frog's guardians stabs her as she's trying to facilitate Sam getting to Sexy Nurse. So
R.I.P.
rest in peace.
Fragobella.
You didn't get fucked like you wanted to by
Is she
Sam
going?
Hell.
I know. He should
You didn't
have
get the hell
just done it
fucked
then.
out of you.
You know what? Right? Take advantage of the moment. Don't like rain check me. Do it right now. Also, does she go to the little frog heaven? Does she go to the same heaven that earthly people go to? You know, lots
Maybe
of
they're up there
questions with
creating
that.
their own greener pastures, if you know what I'm saying.
And again, no one knows. And in case anyone's wondering and they're like, what was Fragobella getting out of all this? I really genuinely think that she was doing this just to get fucked by Sam Hell because you really don't have... What's her
Yeah.
dog in this fight? What is her dog in this fight? You never know. She's just a undercover frog stripper that's trying her damn
And
best.
there's no, so in human life, right, when you're undercover, everybody's a human, so you can pretend to be part of any group. As half frog, you're not going to pass in the human world. So if you're, trying to become allies with them, they're always going to be like, hey, you're a frog. You're our enemy. And then
You're a mortal enemy. You're a frog. You look nothing
the camp
like
itself
us.
is so locked down, right, that no humans are coming in. So
Yeah,
then
how
it's
did
like,
she even-
at
who
what
did
point does
she
she make contact?
Yeah. Who did she... She's got a whole life that we don't know about.
Oh,
Fragobella's
Fragobella.
got
And
a
we're never
whole
going to know
we're
about it
never
because
gonna
she
know
passes away too soon.
She died too soon. That is really tragic. Let's take a moment of silence for Fragobella. So, Fragobella, her dead body is just behind. They ran it over. And now we've got the harem of fertile women that have been saved by Sexy Nurse. And we've got Sam Hill, and we've got the gunner from the beginning.
The
And this is where it gets,
HFW.
this is where it gets real Mad Maxy, okay? It's literally like a wild chase in these very trash-like cars through a desert. And so
Trash-like cars.
trash like little
I hear ya.
put together little cars. And the toad people, they're chasing after him because they're like, we're gonna get our harems back. We need it for our 3 snakes. We all have 3
We have
snakes.
blue
and
balls.
we have blue balls. We have little blue snake balls. And well, guess what? They take a detour. Sam and the harem, they take a little detour and they lose the frog people. So the frog people are like, where in Sam Hale are they? But in this little detour, they meet someone that Sexy Nurse feels is a little bit familiar to her.
Yeah, it's the smuggler from Frogtown.
Mhm. Remember that
With the
Frogtown
face
gun
mask
smuggler that
and
we
the
talked about?
robes. Mm-hmm.
He stops them and
He's
take
got
it
a big,
away.
one of those rocket launchers on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
he's
why.
No nonsense. He's a gun smuggler. Of course he's going to have it.
Because I know you're probably thinking, they're in a car, there's some dude and just keep driving past him. But at this point, they can't because they'll rocket launch them. So
Oh.
they get out, have a confrontation, and you'll be very surprised to find out that this smuggler is the captain from the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie.
The captain that was giving the speech about hating women and the same captain who has a daughter that Sam Hill impregnated. So you are like, wow, you're a gun smuggling captain with a pregnant daughter and a machine gun launcher, whatever he has in his hands. And this is when Sam Hill and the Capitan go head to head in an epic battle.
And we learn from the captain in this moment what exactly his motivation is, which is wild. Firstly, of course, to reinforce the idea he hates women being in charge.
Hates him. Still same
Hates
speech.
it.
He'll give the same speech. Too many damn women are alive, and I'm angry about that. So my
Also,
Goal
he
is
thinks
to-
they're emotional and hysterical, but this person has become a spy because he's so
he's
angry.
so angry, and he's very
So-
very emotional right now with his rocket launcher. That is a
Exactly.
little dramatic, Captain.
Exactly. So anyway, he says,
You see, this used to be a man's world, Sam. But now there are too many women that have us by the short hairs. But I'm going to change that. I deal arms to the greeners for their uranium. And then I give it to renegade scientists for processing.
Wow. Okay, so that is a plot for another movie because I've got a lot of questions about that. But we do
Right.
learn, I guess, the captain's motives. Regardless, Sam doesn't do anything heroic, nothing.
nothing. But he does fall off a cliff after having been stabbed, so it doesn't end well for him. But Sam does inherit his gun, so that's one thing, right? You think that's going to get him a step ahead? It has to.
He's like, I'm getting tickets to this gun show. So he takes the illegal gun from the captain, who is now dead, and he goes back to tell his harem of women, like, look, I got this gun. You guys, guess what? The car, the Mad Max car that the harem of women and Sexy Nurse were in, is blowed up. Full blowed up from the frog people that were chasing them. That chase wasn't over.
It's in pieces. It's smoldering. At that point, he is filled with the fury of 1,000 suns. And when the toad...
And you'd think that fury would give him, strength and the ability to be a really good shot and to just go on this rampage. That's what I'm thinking.
But that's absolutely not what happens. Commander Toady catches up with him. He fires 6 shots, the entire chamber's worth of bullets at Toady. Doesn't hit him once. Not a once.
Again,
and Toad
Sam,
is
you're
big.
just not
He's
doing...
a wide-set fellow. Not a once.
Commander Toady. Well, you got those 3 snakes to take care of. Can't just hide those
and
in any...
he wears those really beautiful collars. Did you notice that?
Yes. Oh, I noticed.
He has those regal
very stylish
collars made out of
Commander
tulle.
Toady. Anyone who's in a high up position has to have some kind of regal collar or necklace or crown type thing. So they do get in a fight, but Sam actually, again, it's very anticlimactic, but Commander Toady dies.
Yeah, it again gets reduced to hand-to-hand combat. Again, the sword is involved. And again, falling off a cliff is involved. And Sam wins by default.
Sam does win by default because, again, he's just the worst. He's literally done nothing. So you're like, okay, well, I guess that's the end of the movie. So he's going back to the car and he's like, all right, well, I got to start my life. It's just a sex-crazed old normie. Get this flap off me.
A sex-crazed old normie?
Yeah, because his normal life. Back to his old normal ways. And as he's getting in the car, he's devastated. You guys, the harem and Dr. Sexy Nurse, they didn't get killed. They just got off the car to go find a place to pee. And when they left, that's when the toadies blew up the car.
Yeah, they thought they were inside, but they weren't. And Toad is such a funny dude because when he pulls up, because he doesn't even check for dead bodies. He's just like, we got him!
Whenever you shoot a car that you think is filled with people, you never check to make sure it's actually filled with people.
We got him,
because
guys!
You never know when a group of women is going to have to go pee together in the desert. And they come back.
Women don't go to the bathroom alone.
They don't. And they come back and they're just like, oh, Sam, I can't believe you're hysterical. You thought we all blew up because it looked like that? No, we went to go pee, silly.
He kisses. The Sexy Nurse.
Mm-hmm.
She says,
You could have saved yourself for Fertles.
I have enough.
gross. The final scene.
So it's implying that he loves Sexy Nurse, but she's down for an open relationship. He gets to have sex with all the fertile women and repopulate the earth.
Well,
he's practically going to be someone amazing,
It's his duty, but it ends with her saying,
Maybe after you complete your duties, I can get us a couple of weeks' leave.
That sounds great. What do you mean when I'm finished my duties?
and then he realizes she's talking about he has to fuck a truck full of women.
Oh, I guess what they say is true.
What's that?
A soldier's work is never done.
Oh,
and then it's over. That's the last line.
Classic, beautiful ending line. Sam Hell, man. Again, and he's in the end of all this, Sexy Nurse, you didn't necessarily win. You got this cowardly, blubbering guy who did nothing, and you're acting like you won some kind of trophy.
An absolute
I'm going to
moron.
give you a little bit of a hint. He won in this situation. He did nothing but be a total idiot. And you still want to have sex with him after he has sex with a harem full of women.
Maybe it is just we have been shown several times women who are desperate to get fucked because they don't have enough men in this society. And so, and if you're not fertile, you're also not allowed to have sex because it wastes a sperm. And so maybe it is just completely circumstantial. She's like, I have not seen a man in ages.
Yeah.
I have not caught a dick in years. This is all I've got. I'm going to tell myself it's great.
It's like Stockholm Syndrome. She's just been around him long enough to be like, this is cool.
I'd rather have this dick than no dick. My opinion, I would rather have no dick, and I'd be like, harem, hey.
I know. I'd be like, hey, sister wives, this is going to be so fun. It'd be fun.
So anyway, he's a loser, but somehow. And why is it called Sam Hell or Hell Goes to Frogtown? It should be like Sexy Nurse Goes to Frogtown and Conquers it. Like to make him.
He did nothing. He literally the whole time. I kept thinking like, oh, he's gonna get into Frogtown, save everybody. No, he literally did nothing except for kill Fregobella. He didn't kill her, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
He killed her by not giving it her that dick. It's just like the whole time he did nothing. And then when he finally got a hold of a gun, he shoots 6 times into the ground. What a total tool.
He's the worst. He's the worst. He's such a drama queen, too. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it, but whatever.
Regardless, the movie ends, and I guess they made 3 sequels after this. But I think that's when you said it was like a series. Like I think it was a made-for-TV like series. And I think it got that series only because this kind of became a little bit of a cult classic because of how ridiculous. I don't know if you guys noticed or were listening, but it's kind of a ridiculous story, a little bit far-fetched. So
I mean,
buckle down for 3 more of these.
Frog people and 3 penises and
Snakes.
the art of seduction.
She really, I have a lot of questions, but I'm glad you guys stuck in for this long, just like Commander Toady was going to stick in his.
You might want to rewind.
I
want to rewind that.
I always say that. No, happy you guys listened. This was a fun episode to do, and if you have a chance, check out Hell Goes to Frogtown.
We will make sure to post videos and clips.
We've been getting a little bit better. We've been getting a little bit better with the IG, so definitely we'll post some clips.
But I just want to warn you that when Fregobella's on the screen, it's going to be not safe for work. You might want to go to the bathroom during that time and look on that at the down low because you're going to get slimy and hard.
Slimy and hard. That's what happens.
So gross.
All right. Until next time, guys.
Bye.
Did I tell you the park that's here in Ireland that I
Tater Park?
Tato.
We've talked
Tato Park.
I always want to call it Tater Park.
I didn't believe it was a real thing. And if you
times.
just go to Tato Park, the website, listeners, you will see an array of amazing. It's the most hodgepodge theme park ever. There's a ride called like Circus Clowns, and then there's another like it just doesn't make any sense. There's like Tato's Wild Mine Adventure, and you're like, what do potatoes have to do with mining? I don't know.
Speaking of mining, do you remember the first time I ever met Alex and we went to that ghost mining town on the outskirts of Las Vegas?
Shit. You know that doesn't exist anymore.
It was terrifying.
It's like I don't think it ever did exist.
I
don't think it ever did exist.
You forgot about the old time saloon that's full of life-size marionettes, and there was
oh my god,
life-size marionette dancer.
Oh my god. Yes. Speaking of sexy, you guys, they were marionettes dancing, and she has her little leg just kept flipping up because she's just a marionette.
So good.
It was so scary. This story has gone on way too long.
I have so many pictures though, and you'll love them when we post them.